this is a wonderful time to be in fundraising. And let me tell you why. We have a confluence of three factors that are strong wind at our back right now. Number one, asset prices are at all-time highs. Number two, we have a huge imminent tax change, and you should just say tax raise coming down the pike. And then the third factor is CARES Act. It's like I've got wealth, tax bills coming due, and I've got this wonderful solution called the CARES Act that's going to give me unprecedented opportunity this is a trifecta of factors that we're not likely to see for a long, long time.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this latest broadcast of Development Effectiveness Strategies in the Jim and Java program. I'm just delighted today to have back once again Eric Fleshood. Eric Fleshood is the executive director of the Crew Foundation that manages more than $50 million in assets. And Eric is going to address the topic of the CARES Act. Eric was so popular in his last broadcast, and if you didn't and weren't able to watch the last broadcast, look for this video right above. But Eric is going to address a topic that is very important, and he'll mention is time sensitive. It really needs to be moved on and enacted within the next couple months before the end of the year. So Eric is going to unpack the CARES Act and what we as nonprofit organizations need to do to move to take advantage of this incredibly popular and important time. So Eric, take it away.
This is such an important topic, and it's one that has an expiration date. So it's really timely that we're talking about this right now as we head into the fall season. The CARES Act is perhaps one of the biggest upsides of the COVID pandemic. The CARES Act was passed by Congress, signed into law by the president in 2020 to help nonprofits maintain strong income in the midst of a pandemic that was creating an economic depression. The CARES Act is designed to make it easier and more beneficial and advantageous for givers to give more now. It's truly, the features of it are truly unprecedented and really represent a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because it does expire at the end of 2021. It was extended into 2021, but for 1 year only.
Well, Eric, unpack that a little bit. Why is the CARES Act so important to a nonprofit organization, especially how it relates to our fundraising efforts?
We have one of the most generous tax codes anywhere in the world that promotes, Uncle Sam says, hey, I'll give you the option. You can either give it to me or you can give it to your favorite organization. What the CARES Act has done has removed many of the caps on that charitable giving that Uncle Sam had in place. So under the old regime prior to 2020, there were some pretty serious limitations on how much of Uncle Sam's cut that you could redirect to your favorite charity. Under the CARES Act, there is virtually an unlimited amount of a person's income that they could redirect to charity, and all the tax dollars that are due on it with it to the charity. So for example, in a normal year, you'd be limited to 50 and sometimes 60%, but 60% would be as high as you could go on a cash gift to charity and receive and move the tax dollars with it over to charity. In a normal year, if you're giving a gift of assets, 30% would be the most that you could give away and carry the tax dollars with it over to charity of your adjusted gross income. But now, until the end of 2021, you can give away an unlimited amount of your income and receive a dollar for dollar tax deduction, opening up the potential for a 100% deduction on your entire income. And that's unprecedented.
Eric, we are all about action steps on this channel and things that people can do immediately. If you're a nonprofit organization of any size, what would you do between now and year end?
Well, I would say what we're doing at Crew Foundation is we are trying to get to the place where we feel like we're over communicating about the CARES Act. It is so important. It is so huge that we are looking at all the ways we have to communicate the opportunities to our partners. But not only that, we're trying to equip the major gift officers and other development professionals within Crew to become more comfortable and more conversant on the CARES Act, because there are many, many applications of it. And it's not just about giving away, what you earn in your income. For example, Jim, if I may, there's a huge opportunity here for people with retirement accounts. Those retirement accounts represent the primary source of excess wealth in many U.S. households. It's the largest asset by the time you reach retirement age for most people. What the CARES Act does is it allows those people to accelerate the giving they were going to do in future years in order to get tax deductions and be wise stewards and get those deductions now and get that money moving into the charities that they care about most. They could literally increase their income to an unlimited level through their retirement accounts in 2021 and get a dollar for dollar tax deduction for every dollar they move over to charity. So that's just an example of one of the applications of this opportunity. So we're trying to train our professionals within Crew how to talk to people about that, to be conversant. You don't need to be the expert. Crew Foundation we're helping our development professionals once they introduce the topic. Most of our partners are going to want to talk to their other advisors, their tax accountant, perhaps their attorney, about these ideas. But that's the goal: get them talking with their circle of advisors about this. If we could do that, that would be a huge accomplishment.
Eric, speak to the organization that is thinking, well, that's great. Crew has got $50 million of assets in the foundation. They've got a sea of individuals who are in development and fundraising, but I've got a small organization. I don't even have a development director. It's just me and my board. What would you recommend? Do you recommend using advisors within our organization? Who would I send my people to?
Well, I think if you're a small shop, I would think about putting together a letter, perhaps a brochure that you can also publish on your website in a prominent place on your website that outlines what the CARES Act is and what the potential benefits are to your major partners. I would encourage you to find a trusted expert outside of your staff and just interview them about the CARES Act. Do a quick phone, video interviewing them. Bring your laptop and do a quick interview. You can find these professionals in your community through your local plan giving council. It could be someone at another organization. It could be a well-known financial planner or attorney or a tax accountant in your area who's friendly to your mission and could speak with authority and clearly explain what the CARES Act is and how it benefits people.
So is there anything out there that you've created or others have created that you could either cut and paste or utilize in emails or on your website? Any tools or toolkit or anything that you would recommend for?
Yes. I'd invite any of your viewers to visit our website at crewfoundation.org. We have if you search on CARES Act, you'll find the official thorough communication that we've put together that you could use as a basis for learning about CARES Act, as well as lifting language from it to communicate to your own your own audiences. We'd be happy for people to use that. That's been vetted by our general counsel's office to communicate the technicalities around the CARES Act.
Well, as we wrap up here, any final thoughts? This will probably go out to our audience before year's end with sufficient time to prepare ahead with your partners for the CARES Act. Any final thoughts that you'd have for our viewers?
This is a wonderful time to be in fundraising. And let me tell you why. We have a confluence of three factors that are strong wind at our back right now. Number one, asset prices are at all-time highs. The stuff that people own, whether it's real estate, whether it's their stock portfolio, their retirement fund, those things have never been worth more than they are right now. Number two, we have a huge imminent tax change, and you should just say tax raise coming down the pike. That's going to be passed by Congress. It's very likely to be substantial, and so we haven't had those two things together in about 20 years. And what it's doing is it's creating a sense of urgency on the part of stewards who are saying, I've never had more wealth under my influence than I have right now. There's a bill from Uncle Sam that's going to come due in the not too distant future. I care about the mission of my favorite organizations. How can I use this wealth that I've been given while it's at a maximum peak right here and before Uncle Sam takes it away? And then the third factor is CARES Act. It's like, I've got wealth, tax bills coming due, and I've got this wonderful solution called the CARES Act that's going to give me unprecedented opportunity this is a trifecta of factors that we're not likely to see for a long, long time.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate what a valuable asset you are to me, to all of our viewers, and look forward and hope we can have you on again. And we appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video unpacking the CARES Act and just the implications and ramifications and how it can benefit those of us as nonprofit organizations. If this video was helpful, please tell us how down in the comment section, and please definitely give it a thumbs up, and make sure that if you're not already a subscriber, please do so. Subscribe. If you've got questions for me, for Eric, put those out there on Twitter at DevFStrats and use the hashtag Jim and Java. You can always reach me on Instagram at DevEffectivenessStrategies, or reach out at my email address at developmenteffectivenessm@gmail.com. And make sure that you put any question in there that you have, because I'll respond to those. And as we always say, it's our goal to help you increase income and reach that goal of becoming fully funded. Thanks a lot. Take care.